Okay, it is Wednesday. We are getting a little bit of a break in terms of fire weather. There are no red flag warnings right now. This is the Sites fire, which is up near Colusa, which is one of our biggest fires, 15,000 plus acres. Containment, not really that great on it yet, but containment's not everything. It's about fire growth, and it's sort of slowed down a little bit last night, and looks like it's going to get an opportunity to slow down today. You can see the fire kind of breathing, and at night the air settles down, right? And as it settles down, the fire sort of gets choked off, it loses oxygen. And then as the day goes on, the inversion starts to raise a little bit, and the smoke, it starts to breathe. And so fires have a tendency in the afternoon to really get hammering. So in the morning, early morning and late night, that's when you really see things settle down. But you also see the problem with air quality, right? Because when the fire settles down, that smoke, let's say you're in up by the Point Fire and you're in Cloverdale or Healdsburg, that smoke settles right down on you and the air quality gets really nasty. Looking at some of the fires burning, Point Fire, they got a good handle on it. We can check out the fire, the Arrow Fire, which is now, how many acres? 5,000 acres, 33% contained. And they still have some evacuations in place, but most of that area is now, they're getting good containment on that. And the containment numbers are higher, but in terms of the fire growth, it's not spreading. The Sites fire really spreading rapidly, mostly, a lot to do with terrain and the type of vegetation. It has a lot more dry fuels to work with. It's out there in the valley, more rolling hills. Fires can run very quickly. So here's our visible satellite image. We can take a peek at it and you can see where the fog is, and then you see the smoke. Fairly clearly you can see the smoke, right? So in here, you see smoke in here, smoke here. There's fire down, the Arrow Fire, not showing as much smoke, but it has a lot to do with sun angle too. If you look at these maps, this visible satellite earlier in the morning, you get a shadow and you can see the smoke more clearly. The air quality, most of this smoke's running pretty high. So the air quality, not real bad in the area. First of all, I just want to point out the fog along the coast, clearing in Monterey Bay. Nice day for firefighters. I think they're getting a good opportunity here to grab onto some to get a handle on some of these fires. So this is let's see if I can refresh this page. It's acting a little goofy. This is the Purple Air map, and this is a good website as well. It shows you air quality. And you can just assume, right? Reds are bad. It's particulate matter, and I can't remember if it's parts per million, but it basically it represents how much particulate is in the air, which is really bad for you to breathe. And you can see on these fires, you can see where the fires are, right? So based on where the smoke is. So certainly up here around Clear Lake, we know what's going on there, and up around Gridley. And then smoke down in the areas further south. So you can see, let's see if we can move and back it up a little bit. And you can see, I love these maps. They're so interactive. And the amount of information that comes off of these maps, again, this is Purple Air. I'll have to put it on my links for you. But you can see some of the air quality back east, right? And they're having a bit of a heat wave out there right now. And so in the East Coast, the air quality is inversions. So particulate from the afternoon commute, maybe some fires, maybe local industries, steel plants, coal plants, things like that, producing bad air quality with that stacked inversion. So this is the fog along the coast. We saw that in the visible image, and you can see that Ocean Beach looks a little blown out, foggy, and that's going to stay that way for a few days. We're going to see plenty of fog at the beaches the next couple of days, and then the 5-day forecast. The hottest day is going to be on Saturday, most certainly. But fire is still a concern for us around here. And I'm going to tell you again, we're getting a good break here. One of the things to note with these fires is this is early season fire stuff. So the dynamics and the dynamics are very different early in the season versus later in the season. These fires would have a lot different play. They would play out a lot differently if it was October. And you know that, right? Because of the fuel, moistures. But there's a lot of reasons. Also because of the dynamics of the pressure gradients, which can be very aggressive in the fall months, right? So you can see this fire burning, this site fire. This is just our reality, right? Fire in California it's always been a thing. It's always been a thing. And I have to tell you, it's always going to be a thing. If I read a lot of California history, And they talk a lot about fires back in the 1800s before the Spanish got here, the Indians, because the lightning strike would go and the brush would burn. But the state used to be, before the Spanish got here, the state used to be populated with bunch grasses as opposed to the wild oat, which is that really dry grass, which is up on the site fire right now. But it's one of the big problems why it burns so quickly. But before that, it was bunch grasses, which were not the same. So the wild oat came over with the Spanish. It came on the hooves of the Spanish conquistadors and mission folks, came on the hooves of their horses and proliferated. So fire, you read old accounts of California in the 1800s, always hazy, always smoky, especially in the summer months. So there you go. There you have it. We'll see you back here tomorrow.